Hey, I'm back, and we're on Chess Cruncher TV. Okay, I wanted to get a very, very recent game. This is Nakamura as white, and Topalov as black. This is from the St. Louis Chess. I think it's called the like showdown, and they had 20 minutes. Yesterday they had 30 minutes. Today they had 20 minutes, and then tomorrow they have 10, and then the next day 5. And also, if you guys want to, tomorrow is a really cool day. World champion Magnus Carlsen is facing Ding Lauren, and so you guys could tune into that. And there's also Fabiano, uh, Alexander, Topalov, Nakamura, um, what's the guy? Oh, Wesley So, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing the gentleman's name right, Demir or something like that. I probably not. So forgive me on that pronunciation. So those guys are playing, and also Magnus Carlsen and Ding Lauren. So don't miss that tomorrow. It's really good. St. Louis Chess Club. Look it up, okay? But this is from one of their games. The reason I picked this was Nakamura sacrificed a piece for 2 pawns, but in the end he was able to use his 2 pawn advantage to perfection, and he won the game. So I wanted to show this to you guys as I'd call this game never give up and keep pushing forward. Okay. Nakamura did d4. Topalov did knight f6, c4. They like the Indian games for some reason. It's funny. This is the Ninja Indian defense. So it's there's a lot of the Ninja Indian defenses being played, and they also had some Spanish openings or Roy Lopez. They had I think they had like a Berlin one, and some of those other ones that were um, openings that were implemented. I don't know if they had a Grunfeld one yet. I'm not exact. I don't know. I'll have to go through the tapes, the replay, and see if they did. But they had a lot of Ninja Indians. They had I think it was yesterday, not today, but yesterday they had a lot of Spanishes, Roy Lopez's. So b4, he pins the knight. Queen Nakamura is playing aggressively. He wants to give himself an option for himself to play bishop to g5. Then he has the ability to castle if he need be, queenside. The queen move also prepares for the infiltration into the d4 square if he needs be. It also allows the protection e4 and then e5, e4, e5. He also has knight f3, bishop g3, and then g2, bishop g2, pawn g3, g2. There's a whole bunch. The play is going to be over e4, so that's how come these pieces are targeting that. That's why this bishop is hammering home onto the king, is so that he can undermine the pawn structure with d5. He might even play c5. He might even castle, because the king's Indian is really a fast castling opening. And he castles like we talked about. a6. Bishop takes. Not a6, sorry. a3. Bishop takes c3. Queen takes c3. Now the queen is very well positioned along the a1 to h7 diagonal. I'm sorry, not sorry. Oh, let's see. I'm sorry. H1 to H8 diagonal. I had the B1 to H7 diagonal. That's funny. But it's the areas that are usually the most checkmated are these two areas here and these two areas for white. So what Nakamura might play is B5, B4, Bishop B2, D5, and then hammer home the mate on G7. These are ideas that are in play. Also, knight F3, maybe fianchetto, maybe bishop, bring the bishop out to F4, E3, something similar to that. So Topalov is trying to fianchetto his bishop along the A8 to H1 diagonal. The bishop comes storming out to G5. He's telling Naka is saying to Topalov, you know what? You may think you have control, but my bishop now pins your knight to your queen. See, what happened is black doesn't have a dark squared bishop. So now this pin is real. There's really nothing that could break this pin except for bishop takes and a pawn takes. Or, maybe if the queen slides over to F3, you have bishop takes, queen takes, slides over, then you have bishop, queen, queen, and then pawn. And then this king, its protective shield is destroyed. So you have to, and this is also a 20-minute game, so the more you can give your opponents to think about, the longer they have to think, which means less time they have to move, which means they don't do very well in slow games, fast games. Like Nakamura really excels in quick games. He's like really good when it comes to fast games. So the closer it gets to like 5-minute games, the better Nakamura is going to play. Okay. So let's see what happens. Okay, the bishop fianchettos. E3, like what we talked about, E3. The F3. Remember, there's this idea in the works, because remember this knight is pinned. It's pinned to the bishop, right? So if we can get a pawn here, if we can get the pawn here, takes and takes, this knight will be lost for just a pawn. So Topalov's got to be very careful. So now he's protecting it with a knight, but remember, still, this queen is pinned. So this idea is real. And now we have the ability of going queen c2, a check, and if knight takes, boom, boom, baby. You have bishop takes d8, so you got to be careful. Rook c8, preparing to do c5, and then trying to lock down the idea of this. And so we have to remember that's for real. So knight comes out to h3. He may there's a rerouting idea of playing knight either here or here. So he's not going to play there. He's more likely going to play f2, knight f2 into either g4 or e4. More likely g4, so he can attack the knight on f6, putting more pressure. He's trying to build up the pressure on this queen. I actually one time won a game against a player by just keeping the pressure on the knight, and he didn't have a bishop, and so I just kept piling on, and eventually my opponent broke, and it ended up with a mate, but we didn't continue onward. So my opponent resigned before the game ended, one move before mate. So So he played h6. He retreats back h5. H4, bishop h4, keeping the pin. Now Topolov's going with his idea. Boom, c5. He castled a king side. Now we got a d5. He's trying so dearly to stop this from happening. He takes on c. Knight takes. Bishop retreats back, because remember, what does Nakamura have the imbalance of the position? He's got the two bishops. What bishop does black not have? The dark squared bishop. So Nakamura wants to keep his imbalances on in his back pocket. He also doesn't. This also allows. Yes, he could play d takes c4. But remember, there's the rooks. The rook will come into life upon that, and it will take over the open file. So you gotta be very careful. So just be really careful when that happens. The knight infiltrates back. Now there's an attack on c4, and this is not a fun one. So b4, b3 is important. That's an important move. It holds the structure on the queen side. And Topolov goes for a double attack on the c4 pawn, which is really strong, because he wants to break this right here because of the rook. So Naka has to be very careful. Queen c, queen b2. B takes c, c takes, b takes c, and bishop to a6. You gotta love that. That takes advantage of all of what we talked about, the pin. Look at that. And it potentially, after takes, there's a discovery of the bishop on the rook. So you know what? Oh yeah, yeah. At the very end of the game, he resigned. It was the reason I liked this game was it's a little longer of a game, but it's so worth it. Yes, exactly. He had like a pin and all this stuff. It was pretty interesting that happened. Yeah, but Nakamura then took back. He didn't mind sacrificing a rook, because his idea was two pawns versus a rook. He took, and then he took again. That has a lot of spirit when you can do that. You know, sacrifice a whole rook. But if you look what it did, it just wrecked black structure, Topolov's structure. So he had to move, because I was trying to think, what were they saying? Oh, if they played rook, then you, 1 second. If he plays, if he plays, that's right. If he plays rook takes, first of all you trade queen takes queen, knight takes, and then you play bishop to b3 is a potential idea with the threat of pinning of the rook. So you have a lot of different ideas that you can go down. So it's not. That's why Topolov moved off of the. Oh, really good. That's really doing good, guys. Yeah, I'm having a good time. I watched this game. No. Yeah, it's interesting about this. Yeah, the pin is, yeah. That's the reason that Topolov didn't take f7, rook f7, because of the pin. And it was just a crazy game. I was like, wow, that's the reason I wanted to do this. Is it has a lot of tactical ideas in it, end game ideas, and balance. It's like one of the best recently that I have seen for a Jeremy Silman talk about reassess your chess, how imbalances really affect the position. So that's why I picked this game for us to go over. So he took, takes, and now the whole game was based on black trying to. Yeah, the pin is really important. Yeah, it is. Now there's no worries, no worries. And the whole idea about this at this point was this pawn on b6. B6 was incredibly important. If Topalov could win the a3 pawn, this pawn on black's pawn, his pawn will queen, and it'll be a threat for Nakamura to worry about. But it's just incredible how Nakamura can. I don't know how he does it, but he can turn a lost position into a winning position. It's just incredible, the games that he's played in the tournament. It's incredible. Topalov's an excellent player, a stellar player as well, but it's just like those two guys. That makes the tournament right there. Those two players. The other grandmasters are good too, but I mean, just those guys are like fireworks on the 4th of July, man. It's just so cool to watch their games. Bishop, G6. Okay, Bishop C4 takes. So now he's a piece that he's actually a for a piece he's got. Let me see. So he's got 2 pawns for a piece now. And they were talking about that back here. I'm just going to go back. Topalov had a huge advantage with the extra material, but somehow it just slowly his advantage just slipped away. It's hard to maneuver when you have a lot of pieces on the board. You have to coordinate, especially when he got down in time. He got into like the minutes, and it's really hard when you have a lot of minor pieces to coordinate them. Even though Naka is 2 pawns for a piece, for a minor piece, it's still really hard to use that minor piece to the best of your ability, because you have to worry about this e4 pawn storming down the board. It's not over just because you're up a minor piece. You have to get them all coordinated and working together. So never say never in a position, even if you're down a piece for 2 pawns. Just keep going. That's what this game should teach us. Never give up, guys. Okay, bishop to f2. And the knight move invoked the weakness of the g5 pawn from Topalov. He also wanted to get his king involved because it's heading towards a endgame. It's almost there. It's very close. Yeah, I'm glad you are, because it'll really help you to get better. You'll get stronger. You'll see. He teaches you how to actually. Silman teaches you how to actually use the board to the benefit of your ability, and that's the reason for this channel here on Chess Cruncher TV, is to show that chess is doable and that we can do it. And it's all about the mind game. It doesn't matter what area in life you're in. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, anything. It's all about the mind, and if you're willing to put in the work. Okay. G4, pawn G4. There we go. See, this right here is Nakamura's favorite card. His ace is the e4 pawn. takes. Oh boy. When I saw this happen, I was like, uh-oh. Because now Nakamura has two connected pass pawns. And even it's better than, let's say these pieces, all these pieces got traded off. And it just came down to a bishop versus these. The bishop, yes, potentially it has a chance of holding, but it has these monsters of pass pawns that, oh man, just having these things roll down the board is like getting, like a line. If you're a QB, having your line break and you have those big linebackers just tackling you. So knight e3. He's trying to take advantage of the weakness of the f3 pawn. Is rook c. 1 second. Rook c2. Interesting. Rook c2 here. Let's take a look, because that is a. Let me see. I think at this point, what would Nakamura play? I think, let me see, maybe knight d4. Yeah, knight d4 might be an idea. Counterattack, yeah. That's basically the move I see that might be the reason that Topalov didn't play that. Because even if you did a rook to d2, this bishop on f2 anchors the knight. You still have these two monsters crash, marching up the board with a fury. So also, let me see. Maybe it is knight. I'm thinking now knight f4, because nope. The knight guards that. I was wrong. So it is knight d4. The knight d4 is the correct move. So okay, it is knight d4. I had to get my, yeah. But once the king gets infiltrated, f4 loses. F4. Yeah. E5 can't be played. Yeah, that's right. At the moment it can't. But you really don't want to see what potentially could happen if this is played. Now you have counterplay on the g6 pawn. You like what you're saying. You potentially, that could be under fire. The rook could come over attacking the b. Maybe, let me see. Yeah, I think that might be the best idea, because now it's attacking the pawn. Most definitely Nakamura probably saw this, and so did Topalov, and that's probably why he played knight e3. I mean e5, because he wants to take advantage of, like what you're saying, the weakness of the f3 pawn. If that pawn ever disappeared, that this guy right here would be the target for everything. That's this right here. I know I'm doing a lot of arrows, but this guy right here is the thing that Nakamura was working on, getting the e pawn. It becomes very important in the game, as we see later on. Knight d4. He did play that. Bishop h5. You can't fault Topalov on his play. He's doing principles, basic and great principles. On, if you see a weakness, attack the weakness with all your might, and he's doing that. He's got 2 versus 1. So now the king's, oh wow. Well, I guess that's actually a really good. Now that I remember this part. Now that I think about it, that is a good counter, because if he takes here, you take here, and it's pinned. So you'd have to play there. Let's see, could you... Oh, then you're attacking the bishop here. And so if the bishop retreats back, you have rook takes. Yeah, that is power right there. See, he's like a magician, man. He can pull out moves where a lot of people don't even think that they're there. He's like the magician, man. Simply knight f3, yeah. Yeah, knight f3 is interesting. Knight f3. Knight takes. That's an itch. Yeah, let's take a look. Bishop takes. Let me see. Let me see. What could he? What would be? Oh, that's the reason right there. Rook f1, so that if takes, he wins a piece. Now Nakamura is attacking 2 pawns. And that's just like killer right there. And so I think what, he would have been happy with a draw probably in this position, but he's winning at the moment. See, we talked about bishops of opposite color usually end up in a draw after. Okay, hold on. Okay, so hold on. Let me see there. Oops, let me see. Okay, bishop. All right, sorry. Bishop takes f. Okay, bishop takes f6. Bishop takes e5. Rook f8. Knight takes f3. And not rook f1. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and with that exactly, I wouldn't have played the rook at this. That's a pretty interesting idea there, because that holds everything together. That actually is winning. Oh wow, think about it. With a couple moves in the fray, Nakamura is a whole piece and a pawn up. So that's incredible. That's why he'd be a good. I'm gonna start studying under him. He reminds me of a modern day Tall kind of setup. He just knows how to do tactics like there's no tomorrow. I was really sad that he didn't make Candidates tournament too. He's a really great player. Okay, rook b1. Let me see. Knight d7. Bishop b3. Rook b3. Attacks the knight. So rook comes down to c1. A check. King goes up to g2. Knight attacks the rook. Now Nakamura's pieces are starting to coordinate really to the best of their ability. He now has enough pieces to walk these guys down the board, because if you notice that the knight covers the f pawn, the f5, the bishop covers f4, e5, so this could be pushed, and the rook. Yeah, exactly. He's got so much. All these pieces are ready to support the 2 monsters that are coming, the giants that are coming down the board, and he has everything supported. It's perfect. His coordination is great. Topalov, excellent player, great player. His pieces are out of coordination. His knights are very not good. Knights that are connected like this are not used to the most of their ability, because they are kind of counterintuitive. They're not what you want to have happen. No piece can go there, because if a piece ever went there, you have a bishop e5 in the wings for a pin. And then Nakamura now has counterplay. He's got counterplay with these pawns, counterplay on f6. He's got Topalov's pieces are not to the max of their ability. He also has a target of b6 that potentially, which would give him an outside pass pawn. So it's just crazy. Yes, exactly. The pieces are more aimless, exactly, because what's this bishop doing? It can't ever take a pawn, because this is being protected by a rook, by a knight, by a king. So you'd have to waste a move to get this bishop somewhere. These knights can't take there because it takes, and you'd lose a piece for a pawn. This knight, if you moved there, could there be a potential e5? If you tried to attack the rook with, the knight with d1, which might be, in my opinion, maybe the best idea. Now you have it, either a knight can drop into f5, potentially. Let's see, maybe, I don't think you'd want to drop back. I'm trying to think, because that actually looks very tempting. But Topalov kind of came up with his oh, just a sec. We'll finish this in just a sec. But so it looks very, very tempting to play rook d1. That's instead maybe playing his bishop to h5. Maybe rooks. Okay, let me see. Rook c. So rook c3. The only problem with c3 for black is that rook would take. So instead of, oh, you're talking about for, oh, are you talking about for white when his bishop, when he moves? Oh, gotcha. So if he moves his bishop, so you're thinking about instead of bishop h. Let's see. I'm trying to go back. How far back would that be? Okay, there we go. Okay, so you're saying instead of bishop to h5, rook c3. Yeah, that is an interesting idea of attacking the two pawns. Yeah, that is a really, really interesting. But the only sitch is these two pawns. Yes, the bishop wouldn't be as, yeah, exactly. Nakamura had all this. Naka had all this planned out. So the rook's a good idea. It's good about infiltrating into the. Yeah. Also, yeah, like what exactly? I think. Let's see. F4. Yep. That's actually a good move because then, if he took here, you can take back. He takes and then oops. Not that move. Get rid of that. Knight takes. Before, because you said it is. What is it? Yeah, exactly. The bishop to h5 has one idea. It keeps the lockdown of f3, which means that this knight has to stay here to guard it. Also double attacks, so it forces Nakamura to do something about it. Most of us, if we hadn't studied like we're studying now, yeah, it was, but at the time, think about this. This looks like a really good idea because if you're thinking about it, you're gonna win a pawn. In your mind, you're thinking, I'm gonna win a pawn, and if I can break this pawn on the f3 square, guys, then Nakamura has 3 isolated pawns, which are really bad. Let's see. Where are we? Where are you guys back? Okay, if f4. Okay, let's okay here, right there. Rook. Okay, so you're about rook c. Then if you're saying f4, then you have d, and then you have d. Let's see. Let me see. f4, then knight d3. Yeah, exactly. Knight d3. That's interesting. Let's see. That's what I was thinking too. And then if he takes here, now you have something similar to that there, then the bishop has to retreat. Nope, the bishop wouldn't retreat there. My bad. Bishop would retreat back. And at this point, I think he could potentially take, and the knight could be attacked. Huh. That's what I'm. That's. Huh. Yeah. I think. Okay. So. Okay. Let's see. Where are we going? Okay. After that, there. Okay. Now. Oh, knight g5. Okay. So you're or b5. So you're thinking knight b5. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Attack the rook. Not a bad idea. That's a potential idea. Let's see. After f4. So after f4, knight d3, e4. Oh, knight g4 here. What you're saying, knight g4. That's a good move. Double attacking the bishop. Yeah, gotcha. That line. Let's see. I still think that the pawn takes pawn e7 is still good though, because it follows the principle. This. Let's see it. Let's see. Oh, knight d. Oh, so you're thinking knight d5. Okay, knight d5. Gotcha. Now you're double attacking. Knight d5. I see. Okay, so what you're saying is knight d5 is a double attack on the bishop. I mean on the f4 pawn. Let me see. Still though, guys, this idea of e6 is strong, because once now if the bishop moves, you just connect the pawns, and now you have a demon of pawns. Yeah. Let's see, what line did we go down? I'm trying to keep track of what line we're on. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? So knight. Okay, knight g4. Gotcha. Okay, let's do knight g4. Knight g. Which? Yeah, this knight goes g4. E6. G4, pawn takes e6, knight takes e6. So, okay, so hold on, let me see, okay. Yeah, okay, 1 sec, I have to get this correct. Okay, here, not there, we want to, let me see, if he plays there, then we go knight d3, like, okay, knight d3, e5, knight g4, e6, bishop takes e6, knight takes e6, knight f2. Okay, that is an interesting move sequence. Now that I think about that. Now that we look at that, that is very interesting for sure, for sure. You don't get knight. You don't get knight g4. Knight g4. It follows with the principle of it's better to attack, something more valuable. He has to undermine. Oh, can we see what the engine thinks? Okay, right at this point, are back a little more. What point in the line would you guys like to see? Is it after that move? You want to see what the engine says, or before? Is it here? Where would you like it to start? The whole line. Gotcha. Okay. Okie dokie. So we'll do okay F. Okay, let's start here. Let's see what it says. After night. Oh, after. Oops. Gotta turn that off then. After knight takes F. Gotcha. Okay. Then let's get to that line. Okay, then here. I think, where did I do that wrong? Okay, one sec. I gotta make sure it's fine, the whole line. Okay, let's see. I gotta make sure I did that right. There. Takes. Okay, now we'll turn on and we'll see what the engine says. Okay, pawn push. Check. Oops. It says to come back here. Okay. Rook B. Oh, I see, because he's threatening to win this pawn here, so okay, knight, rook takes, pawn, rook takes. Wait a second, what is it? So it wants the push? Which one does it want? Let's see. Does it, okay, back gets counterplay going for the white, yeah. Yeah, takes, knight comes in, takes. And there's check. Okay, it's going after why I like rook c. It means in handy later on by forking. Yeah. Knight takes. King takes. And then your attack. See, it's really strange. In this position, it's potentially a draw because this is a weird position if you think about it. Yes, 3 pawns up, but in like a 20-minute game though, and it gets down to like minutes or seconds, it's hard to find these lines. So it basically goes to reflex. Yeah, let's let's see. Okay. Where are we here? Okay, there. I gotta get back. Where are we? Okay, bishop there. So you're talking about knight. Do you want to look at the knight to D? I think how much is this? His idea. Okay, knight D3. Oops, not D5. Sorry, knight. I see rook here. Okay, sorry. Gotta turn this off. Ugh, turn it off. Irritating. I meant knight D5. His idea, knight D5. Trying to see where did. Okay, rook here. F. It was rook C1. It was rook C1. Studying the engine is not good. Yeah. It's kind of, the engine's more reactive, so we have to look at what's going to be played. So you're thinking knight D5. It was with knight D5. Okay, knight. Okay, here. Gotcha. At E5, and then knight d. Gotcha. Okay, so this is the idea that you're wanting to talk about. Okay, what is d5? Yeah. Okay, this is the idea of the pawn attack. Yeah, it's a good idea. It is a good idea. But one second. It is an interesting idea for sure. But e6 is could be played, and that puts a tempo. So the bishop's gonna have to. White can play d. Can play d6 and f. Yeah, e6, and then after that you have f5. Yeah, and then now you got. I don't really know what black has at this moment for compensation, because the closer these two guys get down the board, the harder they are going to be stopped. So I'm trying to think what maybe he can trade off knight takes, and you can say that maybe there's a weakness, maybe a check. What does it say after? Oh, what does the engine say after Eve? Okay, interesting. Let's see. Hey, sweet. We were right. Okay, excellent. We were right. It was takes. Hey, see, we're thinking. We're thinking like we're a fine-tuned machine. And he would take. That's what the engine would say. So, yeah. Oh boy, I'm trying to think what could be played now. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because this is man, this is not a very easy position to do. Black would try to get the king. Yeah, he could get the king prepared. Hey, how you guys? How you doing? We're going over a Nakamura versus Topalov game, and so we're kind of studying a certain part of the game, and it's really interesting to go over what the players are thinking. Yeah, I do. I enjoy. Oh, pretty old, but yeah. uh, yeah, that this is a critical point in chess, the chess game right here. I can see what you guys are saying, that when the bishop went to g5, that one move sequence, you guys were 100% right. It lost a move, and Nakamura was able to take that move and basically dictate the whole entire game. This the d4 pawn move. Let me see back here. After let's see, after here, and then he pushed. Let's see, and we talked about here. This move is good. It attacks the pawn, but it allows e6 to be played, and the only thing that potentially we went over is the knight takes here, and at this point it's another critical position. You need some time to think. And so I'm not sure. I want to. You might guys mind if I turn on the engine for this because I don't want to guess. Guessing is horrible when it comes to your mind. Oh, I'm not sure. I he might have been saying some um, bad words. Oops, I have to come on, get back down there. There we go. Come on. Okay. What the heck? How do I? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Sometimes, sometimes, guys, we have trolls that I get on. It's sometimes guys just are, you know, they ask questions that shouldn't be asked, and so we don't want to give them too much time on if they do kind of try to interrupt our learning session. That's sometimes what trolls do is they want to interrupt the learning. Oh, just a sec, guys. Uh, and so we kind of went over the line, so we'll get back to the game, and then I'll play with one of you guys. Oh, well, that's kind of a personal situation, so, and I don't know why he got deleted. I didn't do it, so I'm not sure. Huh. That's peculiar. I'll have to look into that. That's weird. Because I didn't click anything. So that's all. I was working on here. I don't know how that happened, but so oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that helps. I have a helper too. That's right. Yes, and yeah. Sometimes have some. That's right. I have somebody on so that that's helping me, so that if stuff kind of gets out of control, that's right. I remember now that it gets handled so that there's no interruptions. But we remember we can't. We're still losing. We're losing focus on what this channel is about. It's about learning chess. So we got to get back into the fray of our learning process. We don't want to break stride at all. And we talked about why bishop h5 was a move that was critical. Didn't help Topolov's game. Ended up with a semi lost position and ended up being a loss. So we'll get back to that check, and then we'll look into the rest of the game. H7, because I'm really interested in takes. Let me see. Then yeah, I'll do that in just a sec. Just a sec. But this is a game that was played just today, and I wanted to show you guys how it applies to our studies of Jeremy Silman, the imbalance, Jeremy Silman endgame, his principles of reassess your chess. Why we're going over these books is it's played out in Grandmaster games, and we'll get going on this because it was really interesting. It got down into the seconds, and so they played really good. Okay, we'll just go through this real quick. Yeah, they were even saying at this point Topolov had somewhat of a chance, but his advantage was gone. He's a great player. Just sometimes you miscalculate time pressure in it. cost you the game sometimes. Does it take away that Topalov is a wonderful player, a great player? It's just we have those little mishaps every once in a while. Now, and this is when the pawns get rolling down the board. Now he's attacking the knight. Yeah, that's what happened. That's also, you're exactly right. They were talking about that. Also, Jeremy Silmans. Well, you should never down your the grandmasters. We all have days and games that aren't the best. Like Caruana, and I think it was his last game. He hung a queen, and you know what? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, sometimes thoughts get in there. They distract us from our what we're supposed to be thinking on, and then you miss an important move. Sometimes you have phantoms, which you see things that aren't there on the board, and it costs you the game. So you got to be careful of those things. And then he plays that there. Knight comes and checks, and then at this point Topalov kind of resigned and it was there's like a weird resignation, but the bishop's going to be lost because there's no way to save it. That the knight can't come here to save it. He would have to sacrifice himself for the pawn. The knight would come in. Nakamura has a pawn, an extra pawn. I don't know if he was down on time. I don't remember that, but I remember this position here. And Topalov resigned here, so that was interesting how you can be down a rook and only have two pawns for it, and still, if you keep fighting. Oh, g7. Yeah, g7 is also a huge threat because of here. You're 100% right. Yep, g7, and I think what would be probably he'd have to play in king f7 here. We'll just take a real quick look to see what potentially could happen. Probably would he want to? No, we don't want to do that because that weakens the structure of the pawn. Let me see what could. Oh, that's probably what he saw right here. Knight to d7, d4. That attacks. That'll pick up that pawn. Yeah. d4 picks up the knight. d4 picks up that pawn. Let's see. He. Yeah, I think knight d4 is what Topalov saw after takes. Whatever he plays, this pawn right here is going to drop. Because I don't think, let's see, he might, the pawn will be always too fast. Yeah, this one will be too fast too. Potentially, he is attacking this pawn, so it's protected by the knight. The king could come down. So I think, yeah, at this point there is no way of holding the position because this will end up being attacked. Potentially he'll play Bonvinic is he. You know what? They're all great players. They're all great grandmasters. They have their days that they are up and days they are down. So I figure this. You know what? Trust me. When you've had a tournament, sometimes that isn't going the way you want. I've had some of those, but you know what? What you have to do is shake it off because you have many other games to come. And he also has 20 more games to play. So this was just one game, and he'll shake it off and move on to fighting for the next game. That's the cool thing about the Grandmasters. They know how to let it go, and then they learn from it. By the way, not just let it go. They learn from it, and then they continue on to the next game, that the next one that's at hand. Yeah, there was yesterday was a pretty interesting game sequence of moves. I can't wait till today when Magnus Carlsen faces Ding Lauren. That's going to be an interesting match because Ding did the game of the year. I believe that's what they called it in the Chinese league. He did like incredible amount this double slam, and it was like wow, he's for real of a player. So you know what, he's somebody to keep an eye on. Our guys are good too, but you know what? I always look for those upcoming stars that So he's one of those rising stars that you have to keep an eye on for greatness. Okay, let's see who do I want to play first. I'll do I'll do the cowboy crab one first, and then the yeah man one. I don't usually do 7 minute ones. I do like 10 to 15. So after this game here, I'll face you like a 10 to 15 minute one. Most definitely. That's the whole thing about chess fun. Let's see. Let's see if we could take advantage of the center. When they attack on the sides, guys, you attack hard in the center. Wow, that's an interesting sequence of moves for sure. Huh. Let me see. I'm gonna play knight. I'm gonna try to control the center heavily. Let's see if we can get some attacks going hard. Let's hit hard in the center. Let's see. Do I want to attack? I think I'm going to attack that way. Yeah, I'm going to attack towards the center, especially since there's a side attack going on here. Yeah, let's see. So let's see if we can get some sacrifice. Maybe we could sacrifice some material. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm going to play right there. I like that move. I really think that this bishop c5 is really strong. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Now I'm going to castle. Okay. I'm going to play rook e8. Let's see if we can crash into the center, see what happens. Let's see, here. Yeah. Let's see, there. Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly a thought that I'm thinking as well. Trying to give myself some air if I ever needed to. Ooh, interesting. So he's going for, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I'm still thinking. I'm trying to keep my ideas open for stuff like what you're saying. Bringing the rook to the attack's good as well because you want to do that. Keep your options open. Let's see here. More pieces that come off, the harder it is for me to hold my isolated pawn. But I could potentially. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I'm thinking here. Yeah, I was thinking about that. That is an interesting move sequence. It's flexible. And that's what we're looking for, flexibility. Let me see here. Let's bring the rook to the open file. I like it planting my knight there, and my rook there. Keeping my options open here. That's interesting for sure. Let's see here. I have to retreat back here. I'm gonna set up for I don't know. I don't know if that's the best. We'll have to see here. Gotta get some moves, quicker moves now. I'm gonna get faster. I had to focus down here. I want to keep I want to keep the open file, so that's part of my goal. Let's see if I can crack this shell. Okay. Drat, this is not a easy position to break through for sure. Let's see. Yeah, this should be interesting for sure. Okay. Let's crack this. Let's crack the last shell open. That's an interesting idea. Let's see. Bishop takes queen. Let's see. Okay, if bishop. Oh shoot. Give one more shot. I'll do one more and then I'll play Yemen or Yetman, sorry. Oh wait a second, I gotta develop that first. And then I'm going to develop my knights. Let's see, do I want a castle? Nah, I'm gonna. Ah, this will work. That works too. I like that. Huh. Let's see if I sack there. Thinking about that. Let's see here. I don't think. Let me see. Maybe I should have checked with my bishop. I think I should have checked with the bishop. Now that I think about it, let's see. Bishop check. Oh, maybe. Oh, I think I could. No, I couldn't have checked with the queen there. Should be interesting here. There we go. Who? Okay, so who wants to? All right, I'll play a Yet Min. Okay, I'll do one more game and then I have to log off. Yeah, that was. Remember, you could sacrifice pieces. See if you have the attack. Sometimes sacrificing a piece will win the game. I know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but that's just how. Oh wow, he's going for the bishop trade right away, huh? Yikes. That's interesting. Oh, nice. It's opening up the position. Oh, going for a quick knockout. That's what he's trying to do. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, blitz are fun. Let's see here. Oh, come on, brain. We're good here. I'm just gonna do that for right now. I really don't want to push anything yet. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Sometimes I learned in the, even the 20, the 30, the 20, and the 10 and 5, time is really important. So you got to be careful with your time. Interesting. Nice. That was a nice move. Nice move. That was a stellar move. Yeah, let me see. What should I have played? What would have been better? Ooh, probably should play Queen to B3 now that I think about it. Still okay though. That's what I was thinking he might play. Yeah, I don't like having to retreat back, but gotta do what you gotta do to hold the position. Trying to see, is there anything he can do? Let's see. Okay, bishop takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. Let's see, pawn takes. Bishop takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. I don't know if I have enough compensation. We give that and let's give that a shot. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, text. Boy, boy, boy. Do I want to do it? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I'll just go with it. I like that idea. Let's come crashing in. I don't know about this now. Let's see here. Just gonna have to castle. I hate having to do that, but you gotta do. I should have played this one other move. It wasn't strategizing properly. It's okay. I just gotta now stay ahead of the time. I'm just gonna have to just play. Don't get too far behind in time. I should have went with the knight takes f7. I think that would have been a better idea. That's okay though. We're still gonna do this though. Still got this. Let's see. There. It's gonna be time now. I'm just gonna have to be very wise on how I use my time. Oh man. Oh shoot. That was not a smart idea. Thank you. Thanks. How do I take back again? How do I take back? Propose a take back one more time. Okay, good. There we go. Let me see. Shoot. Drat. That didn't work out too well. Not to my likings. Thank you for the take back. I don't know what happened. I wasn't thinking. Oh boy. Oh man. That's I don't know. Oh, that's not fun. That's not fun either. That's not. That's not fun. Now that was a. Can't believe I fell for that fork. Okay. You gotta snap out of this. Let's play there. Oh man, I hate having to give that up. But it's my fault there. Okay. Let's see what can I do here. Okay. Got to keep an eye on everything. Oh man. Let's see if I can get these guys going down the board. Oh, boy, 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 boy. Oh, yep. Not too good. Yeah, I'll do one more, 'cause that wasn't my best there. One more, and then we'll one more, and then I'll. Okay. Oops. Oh, that was so bad move. Oh, I can't believe oh, drat. Slip of the mouse. Yeah, I know. I missed that. I can't believe that. That's not. I know. My mouse slipped. I was like, oh man, I hate when that happens. I was gonna reach over and grab the knight, but my pawn, tried to put it back, and I didn't put it back in time, and it slipped. That stinks. That's okay though. Hey, oh boy. Let's see if I can. Queen takes. Oh no, that's bad. That's a bad move too. Oh drat. Oh no, I can't believe I did that. That's yep. It's mate. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I need to get my head in the game. Not talk. No talking. Just I gotta stay. I talk and sometimes I lose track of my move sequences. So no talking here for a little bit. Let's see. Just tell me if you need a take back on anything. We'll do that. Yeah. Let me see. Oops. That's okay, actually. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to play the? Let's see if I play here, 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 here. Okay, I'm still okay. I'm glad to, help. That's what it's about. Oh man. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Twos. And now I'm. This isn't panning out too well. Let's see. Be positive though. Positive, positive. Okay. Let's see here. I can't take there, so. Let's see, okay. Yeah. Let's see if I can kind of. Uh, yeah, I think that's mate. Can we do one more? I didn't play very well. Just one more, and then I'm not. I'm gonna play better this time. I don't know what happened. It's gonna be quiet now. You gonna need a move take back? Do you want to move take back? Couple move take backs. Okay. There we go. Just let me know if you need a take back or anything, because it's about learning and stuff. So. Let's see, any checks, any checks, any checks, any checks, no checks. You need a take back? I see nothing, nothing. I don't see anything. No. Okay. deal with this. That's what I'll do. Here goes nothing. See if I can push anything through. Boy. Yeah. Trying to think, what could I play that would stop that? Hmm. Huh. This is truly, truly an interesting one. Huh. Yeah, it's not fun for sure, but you know. Trying to see if there's anything I could push through. Let's see if I can do that. Kind of have an idea. I didn't see that for some reason. That was not a smart idea. Okay. Okay. Probably should have moved my knight now that I thought about it. Or my king. Let's see. Okay, if I do my bishop. Yeah, I don't think I have any chance of winning right now. Yeah. Let me. I don't think I have a chance of winning. Let me see if maybe I can. No. No, I don't. Yeah, I have to. I'll try one more, then I'm done. Cause let's. Okay, whatever happens on this one, I have to log off. Okay, come on. Just one sec, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm good now. Needed a drink of water. I had to get a drink of water, reach over, grab something. Let's see. Okay, now we're getting to the good parts of the game. I don't really want to push it too hard. There we go, it takes there. Okay, Yeah. One sec, guys. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see. How can I take advantage of? Let's see if I. Yeah. I don't think I placed it correctly there. Let's see here. Let's see if I played. Yeah, I need to take back. Yeah, because I don't think there's any way of saving this game. I blundered on the knight move. That was dumb. So I'm gonna have to, yeah. I'm gonna have to play there. Learning, and see, even I'm not immune to learning and errors. So that's why we can't get upset at Topalov. You know what I mean? We all have things that we need to work on. Okay. Now stay in this. Stay in this. Let's see if I can actually defend this. I think I may be able to. I already know what's gonna happen. This. Interesting. I don't know what if we draw, I'll end it, and then you could be a half-point win. It won't be as bad as maybe if I lose. I don't want to lose, but you know, you gotta sometimes just do the best you can with what you got. Let's see. Okay, good. I think I can get out of this. Okie dokie. I don't think I think I think I blundered again. That's a loss. Yeah, guess I'm gonna have to. I gotta call a day on that. Gonna have to learn. Nah, it's okay. I can't. It's getting kind of late. You know what? I went to lost the last four, but you know what? I'm learning. We're all learning, and so we gotta. I'll come back stronger. I appreciate you guys logging on, spending time playing and stuff, and for the takebacks and learning. That's why we play casual games, is because you know what? Nobody's a loser or a winner. You could always learn something, and that's why sometimes you have to put aside ego and pride. And you know what? You're not always going to win every game. You're going to make mistakes, and then you plug them back in. You find out where you made a mistake, then you play better. You know, everybody has areas they have to work on, and so I have to work on a little bit more of my visualization, and I'm willing to say that. Okay, guys, as Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus, and as I say, guys, God bless, and I will see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a great rest of the night, and keep learning. So the same I will as well.